Hey guys, it's Ray. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to my first ever Sims 4 speed build. Now this house, it's very large and it's like probably, I would say it's my second successful build in The Sims 4, so it was kind of an undertaking, but I think for my second successful build, it actually went pretty well. At this point, the only packs that I had and the only extra content I had was a little bit of custom content that I downloaded and then dine out and kids room stuff. That's it. I actually didn't even download the holiday pack yet by this point because I actually didn't know it existed. And it took me a while to realize that it existed, and by the time that I realized it existed, I already had some other packs as well. So right now I'm just working on the roofs, I think, and just kind of editing a few things. I could have added a chimney right where I just added that little room there, but I wanted to add more room into the house, so I added just kind of little extra bits to the house. I probably shouldn't have added this fencing right then because I actually had I had a lot of issues with it later on in the build because my camera kept moving around because the fence was there. That was a bad move, but you live and you learn. I haven't done that since just because it's a stupid idea. So here I am choosing siding, and I just go with a basic white siding because I thought it fit the house really well. The house was already kind of big and loud, honestly. Like it's kind of crazy. I guess there's a lot going on with the house, so I thought just a basic white siding would look good with the house and just kind of not draw attention to any weird parts of the house, which are all over the house. So I know we're not at this point yet, but I'm just gonna go ahead and say this. The kitchen is probably my favorite part in the whole build. I found that in a lot of speed builds, the person says that the kitchen's their favorite, and the kitchens are just so much fun. They're a lot of fun to do because there's so many things that you can do in a kitchen with the counters and everything. So I really liked doing the kitchen, and the kitchen also was a huge challenge for me because it was incredibly small. It was a very small kitchen. There I am adding the flooring. What I like to do once I have the layout done is I go around and I add flooring to kind of map out where everything is. And I don't do anything else to the house until I start, like, sorry, you can probably hear my cats in the background, can't you? But yeah, that's what I do, and I just kind of, then I start adding like colors, and the wallpapers is just kind of mapping out whose room is what and what rooms are which rooms because there's a lot of wood throughout the house. So here I am starting on the kitchen. I decided to go for a very traditional looking kitchen, which I hadn't done in a while. Most of my kitchens lately have been kind of modern. Well, I wouldn't say they're necessarily modern, but they're not overly traditional, and they're not like a craftsman kitchen or anything like that. They're just kind of, it's a lot of stainless steel. I'll go with that. But I went with this kind of very basic kitchen. I love the yellow. And I added this little table here. I actually remove it later on. And I don't even think that that table would be usable if I left it. I move it later on. Don't worry about it. I'm just adding a bunch of little cabinets and everything. I wanted to put a cabinet above that stove, but I couldn't because it just looked really weird. I probably wouldn't look weird inside, but it looked really weird from the top, and I was like, if you're playing in this house, that's where you're gonna look at it from. So I'm just adding a little bit. I'm very modest with the kitchen decorations, which is kind of weird for me. I don't normally do that. And normally I add so much to the kitchen, but I was just very, very modest with it this time. And I just like added a few pictures here and there, a couple accessories, and that's about it. But I really like the way it turned out. I don't even remember what I put on. Okay, yeah, I just put basic curtains on the windows. I think those nice, like, creamy curtains look really good, and I use those curtains throughout the house. Also, that I can't quite tell. I think it's a sunflower. It could be a dandelion. I'm not entirely sure. That little flower picture, I use that throughout the house. Um, I probably could have fit that table there. I actually moved things around and changed the size of the dining room later on because I thought the table couldn't fit properly. Um, but now looking back at it, I probably could have fit everything there. I had a lot of issues with the wallpaper because I made it, I just removed walls for the entryway, and I kind of had issues with the wallpaper because it looked weird. Um, but I learned to deal with it. Um, my thought process behind this, like the family that was living in this house was like, maybe they're music lovers, not necessarily one of them's a musician, but maybe they're music lovers. I've had a lot of music lover sims lately, mostly because I am a musician, so I love music. I make my sims love music. I make my sims be musicians and very artistic just because I am. But you saw that I put that little jazz poster there with a saxophonist on it. Uh, and I think I add like a piano poster in the master bedroom. Like I add a few um, little music posters throughout the house. Also, that picture right above that little um, thingy that I just put there, the little like dresser that I put there, I love that picture. I really, really like that picture, and I want to use it in more builds. I need to remember to do that. I just put a little like runner underneath the table because it was just kind of awkward to put a rug in there because of how bold the color is. And it's the same throughout the whole house. I also use this map and like postcard set thing. I don't actually know what it is. I forget what it's called. I know that one of them is like a map, and the other I think is like postcards or something. I use that throughout the house. I have it in a couple other places, and then I go back and I forget that I forgot to or I remember I forgot to put new roofing on, and I added that. This chair is actually custom content, and I went in and I deleted it, but there's also one other custom content item throughout in the house, and you'll see it later on. I really like that chair though, because I feel like we don't have a chair. Well, there's not a chair like it in base game, which is kind of surprising because it matches one of the sofas really well. It matches one of the base game sofas incredibly well, but there isn't a chair like that in base game, and it's so confusing to me. Like, why isn't there a chair there? But yeah, I'm just going around adding curtains. I tried to add curtains on all the windows in here, just because I wanted it to feel a little more homely and just practical, I guess. Also, I have fallen in love with these sofas, especially that one in the green swatch. I just love it. I don't know why I love it so much. Also, I don't know why I put the coffee table like that. I think it's just because I wanted a circular coffee table of some sort, and normally I always, like in real life, I always use a circular coffee table. I don't normally have like a weird coffee table like that. So I was like, I don't know how to place this because I'm not used to having like this long coffee table. I'm used to having like a little square coffee table or maybe a circular one. Like, I didn't know how to place it, and it looks really weird, but it makes more sense to be placed like that than any other way to me. So it's there. We're just gonna roll with it. I had this large rug and then I scale it down just because I thought it was a little too big, and I like the colors in this room. I really like this room. I like the wall color that I chose in it because I don't normally use with the dark dark wallpaper with trim or something like that. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but the darker colors. Normally I just use like the really dark blue or the deep red, and sometimes I'll use some of the brighter colors. But I never use any of the like beiges and browns and stuff, so I had a lot of fun messing with that. That desk lamp, that's custom content. So literally, this house is in the gallery. I'll leave a link down below, but if you were to download this house, it would just remove a chair and a lamp. I think you would be perfectly fine downloading this if you didn't have the custom content, which I've been really good about not using custom content lately. That sunflower picture, I love that sunflower picture. I'm pretty sure those are dandelions. The one that I put like slightly behind the TV, I think those are dandelions. I don't think they're sunflowers. Anyway, I added a little fish tank that comes with Dine Out. I've been adding that a lot to my houses just because I think it looks really cool and it adds a little bit of light to the room because I think it is kind of a light source. So it adds a bit of light to the room. All of my bathrooms are the same, so you can see I'm just adding the same fixtures to all the bathrooms. I think the bathroom downstairs is the only one, like that one middle bathroom downstairs is the only one that has a bathtub, I think. So this room, I really like the way this room turned out. I like the way the furniture all tied together, and how I just kind of like subtly brought that green in the bed to the room. But I basically staged this to be like a young daughter, like maybe a teenager or young adult, that still lives in the household, and she's like starting work, and she's just kind of getting her life together, I guess, while still living under the safety net of her parents. Um, and you can see I'm adding just a little mirror right there. I probably shouldn't have added that there and figured out something else, like added posters or something on the wall. But I wanted this room to be very simple and very like average and typical. I wanted this family to be very average and typical. So you'll see that theme throughout the house. So I really like that dresser. I like the way it looks with that bed. Now the master bedroom. This is another room I really like. I've never really successfully used that bed before, especially not in that swatch. But I love the way it turned out. I'm really upset that the matching dresser is actually that like orangey color and not blue on top. I probably could have like added a rug or something and just moved it up and dealt with it, but I move everything around later on. You'll see I add a fireplace and everything, and it just changes things around. And you can see I put a jazz piano poster or like picture above the bed, and then I put another jazz pianist no, it's not jazz, it's just a piano picture off to the side. This is before I got laundry day stuff, so I just kind of randomly put dirty clothes everywhere. Now that I have laundry day, I actually do add a laundry room and everything, but I keep the dirty clothes because I think it looks cool. There I am adding the fireplace as mentioned before, and then at this point I just thought the room was very like the middle. I always struggle with this. The middle of the room just looks so empty. I struggle with this in real life too. Like my room, everything is up against the walls, and so like my room is kind of big, and so the middle of my room is just open space, and it gets to the point where like everything just kind of slowly starts compiling into the middle of my room, and it makes it really difficult for me to do stuff in there because I can't like practice my music because then I'm stepping over all of these random stuff throughout my room because it's so open, and I struggle with that in The Sims too. So I probably should have added a railing to the top of this stairwell, but like I said, it was like my second build, and I didn't really think much about it. So this room, I love this furniture so much. This like the really light wood and the bluey tealy color. I love this so much. I've been using it so much in my kids' rooms just because I love the color scheme, and pretty much every single kids item in The Sims comes in a swatch that will match this, which makes it even better. So I just staged this kind of as a normal girl's room, a very artistic girl, and I just added a lot of like light and colorful things, but they all tied really well together, so they were all kind of like a pastel-y pink and yellow, and then that bright blue. This boys' room, I struggled a lot with this boys' room. Cats again? Okay, sorry. Because nothing goes with this color scheme. Like this weird kind of muted dark blue and a really deep like burgundy color. Nothing goes with this except the furniture that comes with base game. So I really struggled trying to find stuff that fit with this. Also, you can't change the color of that lab table thing, and that drove me insane because you can do it for the craft table, but not the little experiment table thing. And that drove me insane. I was like, why can't you change the color of this? So I just left it. But yeah, I was thinking this kid was like, he was really smart. His parents really push him in school, but he's also pretty athletic and pretty I guess just sporty. So that's why I added those little reward ribbons up there. I was trying to find something else to put in the room. I just was struggling so much with this room because I was like, there's nothing. I can't figure out what to put in his room. So I ended up just kind of like going away from it and dealing with it and just being like, okay, I just have to step away. Um, this room is the toddler slash infant room. I do this a lot with my nurseries. Is I'll stage them as toddler rooms and then I'll just throw a cot in the middle of it because they're not babies for long. So, and since they're not babies for long, I just kind of I just have it ready for them for when they're a toddler. And I normally just go with like basic orange or green stuff, so that it doesn't matter whether it's a boy or a girl. Either of them can fit into this room. And then once I get to learn the kid a little bit more, I'll restage the room to be a little bit different. I think this is closing. Yeah, it's closing off. I had a little seating area on this porch back here, and I went with a light pink on the chairs, which I thought was kind of interesting for me because normally I go for very neutral, but I went for a light pink on that upstairs porch, which I actually kind of like it. Now, I'm still very new to landscaping. Even now, after doing this build, I'm very new to landscaping, and I'm not very good at it. I kind of just like repeat the same thing over and over and don't really add a whole lot of like interest. But I'm starting, I'm working on some houses right now that have like little planter areas, and I'm really excited to try and mess with those and just kind of try to do stuff with it. So we'll see how that goes. But you'll see in a minute, my landscaping is not very good. I do add a nice tree, I think. I think I add a good tree in the backyard, and I'm pretty sure I actually add a pool. Do I? See, there's the tree. Okay, I add multiple trees. See, I'm getting a lot of my builds mixed up because I made another build. It's not really like this house, I guess, because it's a very different style, but it has a very similar backyard area, and I'm just like, wait, what did I do with that one, and what did I do with this one, and how are they different? So I'm just struggling a little bit trying to get all my builds straight. I do change these out, or I think I do, because I don't like the color of these like ferns because they're really dull to me. And you see like with that little flower bush right there, the green is very dark but very bright, and I'd much prefer that over the little ferns. So basically what I do right here, I add a little bit more, is excuse me, is what I do throughout the whole yard area is I just repeat the same pattern, which it looks okay. It's just not very interesting. It's very plain, very staged, I guess is the best way to put it. Like, this is how it was when we hired a landscaper to come and do our house. It doesn't look very lived in and very, like, used. So I'm pretty sure I only leave one tree in the backyard. I don't think I have two. Yeah, I just sold that tree. So I found the fountain tool and I was like, how does this work? And I still don't really know how it works. But I add a tiny little pool. It's nothing huge. Just a little pool. And a little, whatchamacallit, the monkey bars. Because like I said, that I have it as if that little boy is very athletic, very wild, and just pretty active, I guess. So here I am, still working on the landscaping, making everything look exactly the same, which I will be honest, it makes me feel very like, I don't know, it makes me feel very calm looking at this because everything is the same, and I'm very OCD and very like perfectionistic, I guess. So it makes me feel nice, and yeah, this is about where the build ends. I think there is some things that got cut out. But yeah, enjoy these clips, these pictures. I forgot to take top-down views, but if you go and look in the gallery, you will be able to find it. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and comment down below if you have any suggestions for future builds. And I'll see you guys in the next one.